change in everybody's computer.
Yeah.
It looks like it's slowed mine down. All right, everybody. Hello, hello. We're shooting the shit with Buckshot.
Hello,
All right,
everyone.
How are you, Buck?
I'm good. I definitely excited. And I don't know. I'm just happy. I got to facilitate the first meeting on Saturday for the first time for my recovery
Excellent.
center. And of
Whoa.
course it went good. So because we let's just say they've cut down on some of the numbers and staff at the center, because it's all about, funding, right? So they had to let a few people go, and they were started to close on holidays, right? And holiday weekends. And I was like, that's just when people needed the most to be in the room. So they came up to me about a few weeks ago and asked me if I wouldn't mind, running and facilitating the meeting on the days that they normally be closed or not be there. And so, yeah, I'm part of me and about two other gentlemen are going to be volunteering to run meetings for everyone on Saturdays and like after like Thanksgiving, weekend I got to do is another. So I'm volunteering and helping people out and running a meeting.
Yeah.
And it went very well. We had 22 people, and but of course it's everybody that I know anyway. I'm always there, so. But yeah, it was great, and they're always refreshing when I leave one of those places. So.
It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen with you. We knew it was coming.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my weekend. How was yours?
Wow, I don't even know what day it is. That's how it's been the last week or so. That was it a Scorpio moon that was out there or something was happening with Scorpio? It was kind of different. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
So we were actually thinking about this is just a thought right now. I don't know, but we went running around looking for. My husband was thinking maybe like a conversion van to travel around the United States, and so
Okay.
we're thinking, and to be able to afford them because they're so damn expensive, we'd have to sell our boat and our trailer and our truck and our car to get that. And I was thinking, well, maybe just go with something a little less big. If I want to run to the grocery store, I got to bring this big old conversion van with me. So it's just a thought. We're not sure. It's like we're planning out our journey, I guess, at this point. But
I gotta admit though that it would be fun though. To do that, to get on and just forget everything and just travel the states.
Yeah. So there's something that I was listening to one of the influencers or podcasters out there saying, everybody's sitting there, they're looking down, they're looking at their phone. I think it was Jim Brewer was saying this. He says, everybody's doing this, swiping this and checking everything out. He says, when you get tired out, what do you do? Most people get really exhausted or get tired of watching TV. And I said, I don't want to live the rest of my life. I said, the last 8 years, I just kind of want to, make my own life story here. I don't want to be paying attention to the political bullshit anymore because it's so fucking old, Buck.
Yeah. It's like you see a lot of people, that you retire and then it's like, what do you do with yourself? A lot of people, obviously go into rooms. I see a lot of people that drank even more because they didn't have a purpose or they just figured, okay, I'm retired now, I can relax. And is it relaxing or is it really like in a way sort of like dying? Because, we busted our butts for so long to get to where we are and to retire comfortably. But then we just, at the last stages of our life is, most of the people, they can't even afford it to do the things that they want to do. But I mean, we got to, I guess in a way, you got to just do it, if you can.
Well, we're trying to figure it out. We're not quite sure how it's going to go. All I know is silver is going up. So all you people out there that bought silver, it's doubled. It went down a little bit, but it's doubled from where maybe, I don't know when you bought it, but I bought it way early on. I had Destin Deplorable and her husband help me with that. If you guys recall, I had a lot of financial people on my show, and they're all telling me to buy all this other stuff outside of our country. And I'm like, no, I want the gold and the silver. Couldn't afford the gold, so I stuck with the silver. And I'm just sitting there going, come on, baby, mama needs a new pair of shoes.
It's funny because I think I told you Julianne is in an eye study, right? And I got to go to Shelby, North Carolina, and which is like an hour and 15-minute drive to get eye drops, and it's there. It's either placebo or it can correct her farsightedness, right? And but they pay us $140 every time we go. So what do? Go as soon as I come back home, I cash the check. I go right to the dealership, the local shop here, and I went in there, of course, Wednesday, and he's like, "So, what did your wife think about your investment now?" Because I've been going for the last 4 years, and I was like, "Well, you know what? Once you're married, you can't really rub it in her face that I was right, because we already know she doubled her money in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like $23 spot price, and that was like out the door when I first started getting it. So my local dealership is great. They only charge me about $2 over spot. So I actually went the other day and he gave me these coins. They're like they're they're the copper. They're plated, but it's copper.
Hold
They're a
on, let me
dollar. They're
get you close. There you go. Oh,
He
nice.
gave me a bunch of these, and it has, of course, we all know what this thing stands for, but they're a dollar worth. And when I go get Eagles, and yeah, I mean they're great. I go there once a month usually to get them, and we all know our dollar is dwindling, inflation is through the roof. I went grocery shopping today the last day and spent $150, and I'm like, what did I buy? Most of it's junk, of course, right? Um, but I don't have a dishwasher at the moment. That's another issue. But things worked out though, because my dishwasher went out, right? So my landlord ordered me another one, right? So it took about a week for it to come, right? So the guy comes and I'm like, "Oh, you guys installing it?" He's like, "No." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Well, are you guys taking the old one?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "What the heck?" So I called my landlord. I texted my landlord. I'm like, they didn't install it, and they didn't take the old one. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, let me just. So I pull out the dishwasher, and instead of it having an outlet behind the dishwasher, it was wired directly from the dishwasher through a hole in the wall and up. So it's attached to a switch, right? It's always been attached to a switch, but I figured there'd be an outlet behind the dishwasher, where there's not. So then I tell him, he's like, "Oh well, I'm out of town right now," and he's like, "It would take another week." So I've been out without a dishwasher, which is just a small inconvenience, not a big deal. But this is how the universe and God works in my life. When a gentleman at the gym that I always hang out with in the sauna, an older gentleman, I don't know if you ever had those attraction books, but it's a $25 book that gives you all local coupons for the restaurants in the community. So I've been using the coupon book for the last week, so I don't have to cook and clean. Right? Obviously I do. I have to still do dishes, but on occasion, but I don't have to do the whole thing. Right? When you cook and you gotta, it's just which is gonna be troubling tonight, because I told that gentleman I'm gonna make him carrot cake for giving me the book, because he saved me about $50 the last week alone in just giving me the coupons, because it's about buy one get one free meal. So I'm at least saving every time it's $10 every time I order something. But so yeah,
Nice.
he saved me about $50, $60 so far, and I still got a whole booklet because it's about this big of coupons. So I said, you know what? You like any desserts? I'll make you cannolis. He's like, no, I don't want cannoli. I said, what about carrot cake? He's like, yeah. He's like, my wife loves carrot cake. I said, well, I'm gonna make you carrot cake, and I'll bring it into the. So I got to make it after the show tonight. And bring him a nice big piece of carrot cake for him and his wife.
Yeah.
So I got to do
Cool.
dishes tonight.
Yeah. My husband did make the cannoli cake for
Oh,
my niece actually did come in because when she came in to visit well, she traveled to Florida and then back to here. And then she's got to go deal with all kinds of health stuff. So she wanted to take a short trip, a short vacation with her fiance. And so she made a cannoli. He made a cannoli cake.
oh,
We go and pick him up. I already told her before they came out that he was making the cannoli cake, and then we take him to McGuire's in Pensacola, which is a famous cheeseburger or hamburger place. It's really good food. They give you these burgers like huge. And so we come back to the house. First thing they say is, "Where's the cake? Where's the cake?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" So we had that, and
let's
then
go right to dessert. Man,
what's
go to
that?
good. I said skip dinner, right to the dessert.
Well, we had the dinner at McGuire's restaurant, and that was our
Okay.
dessert. But
Oh,
yeah, I could. It was so good to have family. This first time family came and visit us, so that was like all week, and it was really special for me,
yeah.
and just to see both of them, and it's so in the cooking, and we did a lot of cooking. I made this big pot of beef stew just to have on the counter for them,
Yeah.
but they were running around so much. Did a dolphin boat ride. They did all kinds of stuff. There's so much to do down here that
Yeah, I know. That's what's great about the Florida area. You go right into the Gulf of America,
yeah.
and there's a lot to do in there.
Yeah, I found a store in Owa. Owa is it's a water park on an Indian land down here, and they've got a big shopping part. And they had all the hats, the Gulf of America, all the T-shirts, all the stuff in there. So I might go back and get no more hats for me. I'm not wearing any more hats. I'm done with them. I took all of my hats, and I swear I counted at least 50 of them.
I still got one hat left, and it's that's the
And
only
I think
one. It's the only hat I have because I'm Italian. We gotta have the hair looking good.
hey, Vinny.
And, but what's funny? When you went to the shrimp festival, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? A gentleman said he was there at my center. He came in, gentleman named Dick, an older gentleman. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was in Florida. He's like, I went to the shrimp festival. I said, oh, my friend Janine was at the shrimp festival too.
Yeah, everybody comes from all over, and so
Yeah,
now it's kind of great because it's really slow, and then we're just right. I think right after Thanksgiving we get the snowbirds that come in and stuff like that. But and in the meantime, we were figuring this will give us enough time for this winter to figure out what we're going to do if we're going to buy something to travel, whatever it might be. And so we don't have to do it just right now because I'm not going to travel in the wintertime up north. No way.
no, you definitely don't. You don't miss that.
No, I don't. So, Buck, all I can tell you is I just want to get your perspective. I'm going to throw some things at you tonight. I hope you don't mind. We're shooting
Let's
shit with
go.
Buckshot. And actually, it's so funny because, so I've got all my little short clips out there, and Buck will always say, hi, Janine, or good morning, or something like that. And I type, and I'm half awake having my coffee, and he's already got this type. And I think I typed Buck shit.
That's right. It was Buckshot. I'm like, Janine, Buckshot. I said, that's the first time.
I saw it maybe 10 minutes later. I go, oh, shoot, I got to correct that. And then that gave me the idea for shooting the shit with Buckshot, right? And
There you go.
Buck, you got to keep making these faces because I'll go back in this video and those
I saw
eyes.
that. I was like, whoa, do I look scary in that thing? I said, but that's a good one when I'm looking at the shit, right?
Yeah. So I hope everybody's doing really good out there in YouTube and in Rumble. I see Rumble. A lot of people are jumping on here now. We Not Me is out there. Hey, how you doing? They're saying you're looking good, Bucky. And I see Kate Carter is out there, and Hula Hoop is out there. Hey, Hula Hoop, good to hear from you too. And then we got Legit is in the house too. Of course, on YouTube we got our regular people, Scott and Ishmeyer and Arnie, and I think I saw way at the top was Alley Cat was probably one of the first ones. I think she just kind of stuck something in here, but she said that just so that you know, Buckshot, I think she was the first one to put something in here. She said that is and I can't find it right now. That's the best thumbnail ever, Janine.
Yeah, this is
Did you
like I
see the
said.
thumbnail?
Looking at a pile of shit.
Yeah. I think the AI made the gun in the shit, and then I had to find your face. Oh, this is fun. So, you guys, this is what we're here for. There's so much stuff that's going on. I see today I kind of renamed X. It's almost like it's not the world that I want to be in out there, because now they're kind of making fun of all the crap that's out there, and it's just negative and negative, negative. And I don't want that anymore. I don't want that in my life. I just basically want to be able to laugh and have fun with you, Buck, and whoever else is on the channel, and just do whatever, talk about whatever we want to talk about. So, whew, that's
Yeah, because
about,
it's a lot of like I said, bullshit out there,
yeah.
right? You go on Facebook and you see people, and it's just like, are people really that stupid, or this is where like the whole AI, and you don't know if you're talking to a bot, and it's all about divide and conquer, and people are falling into these traps of who's right and who's wrong. That's where my screen. But that's what's crazy though, right? It's like it's like, is that really happening in this world? It's
I
like, I
don't
really.
know. I don't know, Buck, because I see a lot of people out there that they're showing all the crazy Karens, and everyone is saying, why are all these Karens like crazy? I mean, they're attacking houses that decorated for Halloween because maybe someone that lives there. It's just nutty. It's just nutty, nutty, nutty is all I could say. And I don't know what to believe anymore. All I know is that we're at the peak of something. I really believe that. And I think since the stock market is doing really good, silver is doubled, gold is way up there. We're doing really good. And if they are trying to prove a point that the Democrats want to keep us um, on a negative side of everything, and just, make it sound so bad that these people actually believed all those things that were told to them, and then when good things, it's kind of like when good things come to people, some people can't handle good stuff, the good vibes. That's
They
what
don't
I'm
expect it.
thinking.
A lot of us don't expect it. We've been beaten down for so long that we don't realize the good. That you got to always look at the good instead of there's always a positive and negative. But without the negative, we don't know what the positive, right? So, but it's you try to help people out, as best as you could. But some people, they're just stuck in that mindset of playing victim. We see a lot of victimhood, even with the snap, right? That's coming out. It's like people are threatening to steal because you don't want to get off your ass and actually get a real job and be
Holy
responsible.
shit. I can't believe it. They're saying anywhere between November 1st to the 3rd. Why don't you tell the story, Buck? What's going to happen?
Well, they're gonna supposedly get rid of the food stamps and right SNAP benefits, and so there's a lot of videos of people out there saying they're gonna steal instead. I
So
don't
what they
know.
basically said is anywhere between November 1st and November 3rd, don't go to a Walmart because they're using Walmart. And I think my niece is in Arkansas, and she said that there was
Oh,
something different about the Walmarts, but the Walmarts are going to lock everything up. They're basically saying, and this is really good. This is good to see the mentality of this. If they never wanted to get off their ass and get a job and work like the rest of the world has here, or the rest of the Americans have, and they wanted it, it's not their fault. It was the current administrations that gave it to them and said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of you." Right? That's that whole mindset.
yeah.
Now that because the government is basically, whatever
The
they are right.
gravy train
Yeah. So they're
is
saying, well,
leaving.
I gotta eat. I have to eat. You're taking away my Snicker bars, right? They're saying all the shit. So now they're saying, and I've seen video after video that people and that they're just gonna go and take the stuff. You don't give it to us, we'll take it.
Yeah, I
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
mean, some people are gonna get away with it, but other people are gonna have to pay the consequences.
And
Now,
there will be some.
yeah, and we're gonna see it because we've known for a long time what they have the deep state as planning. They want chaos and division, and this is their perfect opportunity to cause that division. And we all know this is right. This is all. Some of it's a movie, some of it's 5D chess, whatever your perception of it is.
Yeah.
We all know it's going to eventually come to a head, and I'm we all know good always triumphs over evil, so I ain't worried. But just be prepared that you're going to see some shit, and just try not to fall for the head games of who's right and who's wrong. You know, and it's that's what they want. They want that division. So I have to really go on X anymore. You know, I'll repost a couple of stuff, but um, yeah, the whole X and Facebook, it's try to stay out of those group messages. Those group.
Yeah, it is crazy. I'm finding a few things that I could post out on Rumble. There's a few videos, more positive stuff. And you know what the funniest thing I saw, it just cracked me up. They are tearing down the White House for construction, right? And what was exposed were tunnels. And do you know that some of the other side, the other people are saying he's putting in tunnels so that the police can get access to arresting more people. It was just crazy. And I don't know where their mind goes. These are the ones who have not been awake that are seeing things. And I was cracking up. Yeah, you're seeing tunnels, and you'll find out why.
It's okay. Okay, you see tunnels. You see how old that brick is, but he's building them. Those shits have been there, right? Common sense, and like right, the whole West. He's destroying the whole West Wing. He's destroying a section of it, and not only that, but he's a pretty much a construction icon, right? A building. He's gonna have the best guys doing it. To me, they'll be done in no time. Like the normal projects, right? That they milk it for years and years. This thing will probably be done before even the next year is even done. I wouldn't be surprised if it's done before July 4th when we have our 250th anniversary, where I believe is where it's going to be a lot more than just the 250th.
And I want it to be called the Trump banquet. Just
You
that
want you want you want heads to explode? I mean, you see their heads explode over the littlest things. It's just like it's it is frustrating though to live in this world where we have to deal with people that are just so far gone. It's like we they got to be somewhat possessed or something because there's nothing taken up there.
There's just so much out there that I think that all of us that have been awake can really see through a lot of stuff. Like the one that's playing Oprah, that's Diamond. That's Diamond and Silk. That's Diamond that supposedly died. It's so obvious, and I don't know why people can't see it. I see a lot of the actors out there. Biden will be gone, soon enough from his cancer, his prostate, stuff like that. But the whole government shutdown and what do you think that means? I'm going to go and ask you and anybody else in the chat here. What do you think that is it? So they're basically were saying it was the healthcare that Republicans don't want to pay because the Democrats want to give billions to immigrants to pay for their healthcare. And a lot of people are saying other things. Buck, what have you heard?
I've heard the same things. It's hard. I was trying to find the bill online to see what I could do any research on it myself, and I'm not a digger like some of the other people that we have out here. But I believe because we know what most of us know was going on behind the scenes. I think it's the white hats using this to make the Democrats look bad so they can trim the fat and get to government to where we're supposed to be as a constitutional republic, not no
Yeah.
corporation. So me, this is the play that they're using. So they like we all know we don't want a civil war. They're trying to cause the civil war.
Yeah.
And that's where I don't think it's going to get to that bad. You're going to have pockets, right, in the blue states that don't get their funds and snap. And that's where then you can pull in the National Guard or the military once they
Yeah.
start, But yeah, it's just a systematically, destruction of government. It started with the generals in Quantico, right?
right?
That doesn't happen, right? You got so many of those guys. You got them all in one spot, and how do you trap a rat? You put them all in one location. So
Well, here's some other things with the healthcare industry is that some of these Democrats don't care if the government goes back because they are making. I guess it's called it's a term. They're making money on the side from radicals that are actually providing billions to them. And Trump actually had a billionaire donate millions to pay for the military that's already out there to keep them up and running. But there's somebody out there that's actually saying the government shutdown isn't has anything to do. It has something to do with healthcare, but not what everybody is thinking. So if the healthcare industry is about to lose billions of dollars if this ACA subsidiary doesn't go through, which basically means they don't get any sidekicks in the near future. So they always get kickbacks, right? Or not sidekicks, but kickbacks.
yeah,
So that's part of it for them not to get a kickback. Now, I don't know about you, but I have to pay for my own insurance until I hit 65. And when we first came here, we signed up for something. We got a very nice check back from our insurance company. And I don't know if anybody else has experienced that. But my husband opens up the mail and he wasn't sure if it was real. He thought it was a joke or whatever. And it said, you didn't use up all of your, I guess there's a certain amount of money that you have to use. And we don't go to the doctors. So we got something sent back. I'm hoping that that's the way it'll go for everybody else. You pay in, let's say, $100 a month. All right. So that's $1,200 a year. And you maybe have gone to the doctor once. What are they doing with all that money?
yeah. It's like car insurance too, right? It's like we got to pay for some idiot causing an accident and not knowing how to drive. I got a clean record. I haven't had tickets or any accidents, right? But somehow, one way or another, our insurance keeps going up, and it's just like, how does my insurance go up this amount, right? And then it's no speeding tickets recently, but it always goes up when you don't get no tickets, right? You're the proper. It's no different than us being regular good citizens, right? We got to pay for the idiots or the criminals.
Yeah. I want to show this. I want to jump back to the food stamp, but this is by see, I can't say it. So they're basically showing you all the different nationalities out here, and 45%
Can you
is
make it bigger?
yeah. I think.
Let me see.
Hold
Yeah,
on, hold on.
that's good.
I guess that's a little bit bigger,
Yeah, but you
but
got an Afghan is 45.6%.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Somalis, 42% of Samoans, I guess is how you say that. Dominican, Caribbean. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, but this is
What's
somebody
crazy?
actually caught this. Italian, 7.6%, but they didn't
Hey,
consider
oh,
they didn't
Guineas.
consider them white.
Now you know why we're rigging gambling casinos. That's another thing, right? We already know the sports they've been rigging sports forever, but not forever, but for a long time. But what about that exposure, huh?
Whoa, yes, and I've been saying it all along, and I've been poo-pooed on in my house talking about shooting the shit. That's all that he thought I was doing was shooting
Yeah.
the shit here. I'm like, it is corrupt. Yeah. How many times do you see like, oh no, the sun is in my eyes. I can't catch the baseball or basketball with the NBA. They were actually getting signals from the side. There's more that's going to come out about that, and then the gambling, right?
And Trump even posted it too. I think today
What
about it.
the
About
infrared?
that there's probably more to come about it. Let me see if I can find it. But
I
he
I think
posted
yeah,
it,
go
unless
for
you
it.
have it up already. But
Uh,
I probably posted it on my page if I can. I keep going to two different locations. But yeah, you notice that food stamp chart too. All the top three countries: Muslim, Afghan, Somalia, and Iraqi were all the top food stamps.
yeah, and I'm sure that they're basically just all illegal, right? And how about this one here? He actually is making a statement right here. when he was showing you what it's going to look like. So I don't decode anything. And if anybody has got an idea out there, he talked about, and the military is overlooking this too.
Yep.
Do you want to hear this?
Go
I
ahead.
don't know how well my sound is going to come through. If it doesn't come through, just let me know. Let me see if I can turn it all the way up. Uh-oh.
No sound.
It looks like they are. Oh, wait.
Do it. The government's paying absolutely nothing. We're also working with the military on it because they want to make sure everything's perfect, and the military is very much involved in this. They want to make sure everything is absolutely beautiful, and you can see the kind of interiors that we're talking.
Why would the military wants to make sure that everything is absolutely beautiful? Is it because it's a government building? What do you think, Buck?
It could be the tunnels, right? That we talked about earlier, the military, right? And I mean, he has the military there already, right? The National Guard already. So why not put them to use while they're there waiting? They're already getting paid, right? So they can get. I'm sure they have some, engineers there too, like right. And Trump knows the people, right? It's the White House. I'm sure we have people that are more than willing to volunteer. Let's just say if you're an engineer or a contractor, and they said, "Let me ask you a question. Do you want to work at the White House and help build the ballroom?" I guarantee you, every person who's skilled is going to be like, "I'll do it for free, pretty much." Just because that's we all know what's happened sometime behind the scenes, right? And we all heard rumors, right, about they could be taking it out. I don't. To be able to say you helped build a piece of the White House and the ballroom, people are going to jump at that opportunity. So you're going to have the most skilled people, I believe, willing to do it and build it proper. Especially military.
So, I totally believe it. In hand with the government also being shut down, is the DOJ announces the largest Medicaid fraud bust in the U.S. history. They have to clean this up while the government is shut down.
And that's what I believe is what really this is for. We got to, trim the fat. And one way to do it is with the government shutdown and making the Democrats look bad because from them not agreeing to anything.
Right. So there's a lot. If people don't see the positive side of anything, Social Security, what's happening? Social Security retirement benefits to increase about $56 per month next year. A lot of people will say, well, $56, it's like $1 a day. I hope that they reconsider and make that a lot more. If we are taking in all these tariffs, and the amount of money against the cost of inflation and all that other stuff, they need to pay the senior citizens a little bit more money. Only because I am one.
Well, I mean, we talked about it earlier when I went shopping for food, right? You guys are on a limited income because you're not working, so your money's not going as far as somebody who's like me, who's still, I make pretty good money for, because I live in a decent area where it's not expensive. But, as senior citizens, you got limited income. So, yeah, it's a lot harder for you all to deal with that right now, just at this moment.
Okay, Buck, here's something else to consider. So we talk about vibration and frequencies, and we know how that affects anytime you change anything. But now he's starting to change the landscape of DC. So if he's changing the landscape, he's changing DC. So, this is, I think what they were basically showing you is the Star of David. They're basically showing you what we already know, what's in DC with the owl and all that other stuff. But more than that, you have to really take a look at, he's just breaking up the energies there, right?
Yep. And I think that's how they're going to, I don't see a lot of them talk. How we've always heard them using dues on some of these satanic buildings. I think that what we're going to be really doing is breaking up the energy and reversing it. You know, because a lot of
Exactly.
these buildings that are historical are built on ley lines, right? So they were originally used for good and positive energy. So what are we gonna do? Just destroy it by throwing weapons on it and blowing shit up? That's
Yeah.
gonna affect the vibration of, that's a negative frequency dropping bombs on the planet, whether we like it or not. So I think that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be breaking it up, and we're gonna use positive energy in those ley lines instead.
Yeah, everything's positive. This is all God's intervention. It really is. And one of the things that they are pointing out, and these things that we're talking about, they have to be brought to the surface now because there's so much of it that is changing. If anybody says, "I just want everyone to know the truth," oh my God! If you don't see the truth that's being played out there, so basically, this is the infrared lights in the poker games. They were able to see all the bullshit, right? And they're
I can
basically,
see
you
the
can see
numbers right on there.
right on there, yeah, right on the table through those glasses, and there's just so much of it. But we've known that I didn't know to what extent this was actually happening in these poker games. James Woods is a big poker person, and he talked a little bit about this. This is not the type of games that he plays or where he goes. So this was being run by the sports teams, right? I think.
Well, it was more back behind the scenes, like, I forgot the terminology you want to call them, but um, like backyard type poker games, right? Like off the grid, like I believe they were using these professional to getting these rich people to bet. Oh, we got professional athlete gamble. You can, they're basketball players, right? You probably heard that. Oh, you be able to beat them. They're only basketball players. Blah blah blah. It's like, and that's how they, and I'm playing with a basketball player. I'm playing against a. So that's how they lure them in.
Sorry about that.
No,
I always try to
no,
cut the sound off, but yeah.
yeah,
So
no
this
sound.
is them. Yeah, I don't want the sound on for this, but this is just basically him talking about. You watch these guys. They're going to point out. I think they already did this in the beginning that they all I think it takes a whole team. It's got to be a whole team, right? It has to be crooked, like in the Sox. The Chicago White Sox, 1919, I think was the year for that. There was the whole team that was crooked.
Yeah,
You can't.
they usually get a few of them, like one or two. All it takes is one or two decent players to really throw a wrench in everything and give them a leg up. It's funny because we talk about the gambling. There was a kid in the song the other day that we were talking to, and he did play. He said he played professional. He played for the Cowboys. He played for I forgot the other two teams he played for, but he said he was a cornerback. The first 15 plays are scripted. So in his eyes, he's like, they do in the football too. So I mean, he said he was only a few years, but we started off with the basketball and then we were probably like, yeah, I believe all sports are rigged. There's a lot of proof out there. And he's like, yeah, that's when he jumped in. He's like, I played football. I played professionally, and I can tell you the first 15 plays are scripted. And my opinion that they're yeah, it is. He's like, that's why they legalized it. So take it for what it's worth. We've already know people that have done the research. We know it's been every sport is practically.
Yeah. So this yesterday, and I don't know what the date is on this, but it wasn't today. So President Trump said that he was working very closely with the U.S. military during the construction of the ballroom. Today, and I think this is MJ Truth Ultra that's writing this. I just learned that the reason the East Wing was built was to cover up the underground bunkers known as Presidential Emergency Operations Center, PEOC. It was constructed in 1942 during World War II under the President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who provided a secure shelter and communication hub for the president and the key staff in case of an aerial attack on Washington, D.C. The East Wing was expanded at the same time to conceal the bunker construction from the public. And so the people didn't even know this guy here. I find it hard to believe that it's MJ Truth Ultra didn't know about these. We knew about them. And I don't know who actually was exposing all of these bunkers that they're referring to them, but they're tunnels, man. They're not just bunkers.
Yeah, bunkers. Bunkers. Let's just say bunkers don't have an archway, right?
Yeah.
Bunkers are going to be completely sealed, and it's going to have right that we've already seen the underground bases. We've seen videos of them. They're on YouTube. Just look up underground bases, right? They even show videos of Cheyenne Mount, some portions of, but the entrance alone, they're not going to have an archway and a bunch of tunnels. No, they're not. They're not bunkers. They're tunnels.
Yeah. One other thing, I just want to go back into our time machine and just remind people. I know you guys have probably already seen all this stuff, but do you remember? Let me just kind of blow this up a little bit. When, hold on, she is so excited that she actually gets to hug someone, and they had to put together these stupid ass things in order to hug someone during the COVID. We're never going to forget. We're never going to forget this. We may forgive, some may forgive, but this is just to see this again. It kind of irked me a little bit.
Kid Rock said it perfectly on Jesse the other night.
Yeah.
You know, and I catch myself, you know, because in our age, okay, for people that don't know, our age, our generation, retard is considered a term for stupid. Has nothing to do with the handicapped, right? It just means stupid. And I said I noticed I said it the other day at the meeting, in the meeting that I said something about I'm not retarded. And I don't know if they take it the wrong way. They know I'm a good person and I don't mean no harm. But I caught myself. I said it after. I said, "Yeah, I'm not that retarded about something." And then I realized after, I'm like, "Well, people might get offended if I say that." But you know what? I'm being my authentic self, so fuck it.
Everybody's offended about something today. There's nothing that you know what, people don't even care anymore. It's gotten to the point that you know, these people got to snap out of it. They really do. And let's see here. So there's one other thing I wanted to point out. This one kind of threw me a little bit. So Tucker Carlson is actually, this is Liz Crokin, I think is her name. I don't know if she's good or bad, but she says he walked out to the TP USA event with his dogs. A really bad sign for the satanic pedophile cabal. Do you know what that means, Buck?
Well, it
Why
could
he
be
would bring
dog comms. I mean, his dogs don't look too vicious though, so I won't be scared.
No, but he makes sure the dogs know, right? Is that what it is?
Well,
I don't
I'm not. I don't. I didn't put too much into it, so I don't know.
Okay.
It could be the dog comms, you know.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, I saw that and I was just like, well, that's a little different. I haven't seen that. You know, I think at one point, honestly, Tucker was bad, and then he did a turncoat. I really do, and he found God, which is a good thing.
Yeah, they got most likely got the riot act and saying, you know, we know you got a little bit of fishy, but this is your chance to make it right. You know, and like just like God gives everyone a second chance, and you know, in reality, humans do, as long as you haven't really done any satanic pedophile crap, you do deserve a second chance, especially people that were brought up in it, I believe. You know, but yeah, the whole satanic pedophile, no use for you. Quick trial, wood chipper, whatever we got to do. But yeah, it's
wood chipper.
Yeah, wood chipper.
All right, last video here. And I'm kind of happy about this one. I did many shows on it. I lived through this. So this H-1B1, that's where they allow immigrants to come into our country and take the American jobs. And so they're basically saying Walmart paused the H-1B1 visa job offer among Trump's, I think is at $100 billion fee or something like that, to show the roles that are essential to open the doors to Americans again. And that's a great thing, Buck, because you know, one of the reasons why there's so many SNAP programs and so many of these welfare type of things are out there is they allowed it to everyone that wasn't American and a citizen to get it, while other people got our other jobs. And there's more people that are calling ICE, if they walk into a place and they see a bunch of immigrants working there and they say there's no jobs here for you, they basically will call ICE and say, check out this place. And then all of a sudden they go back a couple weeks later and there's jobs that are open. So I don't think that that's a bad thing. It's just that you have to live with it once you go back in there because you know that you caused that. But I think people want to be able to provide and put food on their table and pay their bills.
Well, it's just, it is the right thing. I mean, everybody deserves, but the issue is they send their money back home. They don't spend it here. They send it back home to their families instead of putting it into our economy and boosting our economy. And then now so you have all these illegals or whatever working there. Now you got SNAP is running out, EBT is running out. Go work at Walmart. Walmart's hiring
And I know
now.
that I can back up what you're saying because I worked as a consultant. I was a consulting manager that I had to go in, and because I knew how business operated in the United States, and you had all these guys from India or whatever country that they were coming from, and they're going into the big corporations. They knew things from a technical perspective, but they didn't know how things worked with it in the business. So I'd have to go in there and explain to them a lot of different things. And I remember sitting in one secured room with probably about half a dozen of them. A couple of them spoke English, but they were basically saying, yeah, we come here for the money and we send it back home. He says, you wouldn't believe how many homes that we built back home. We now have like neighborhoods like you have, and of course you're sitting there going, well, that's good. I'm really happy for you. At the same time, you're like, really, what the hell is going on here? They're taking the money and they did say to me, we sent it back home.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
sent it
they
back
do.
to the parents.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that, and in a way, you can't. If you could help your family, you could, but in the end, it's you're not paying taxes either. While
Yeah,
we're paying almost an arm and a leg, barely surviving.
Yeah, and it happens in all the countries. Ashmeyer is basically making a statement out there. So I'm glad to see that everybody's doing really good out there. We've got a lot of people out here today, and we're just shooting the shit, talking about any current events, anything outside of politics that you want to talk about.
Me outside of politics? Oh, I'd rather talk about outside politics all the time. But yeah, I don't know. I have really nothing much. It's funny because I'd rather talk much about outside politics, but I don't know what to talk about at the moment.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I mean, there's times where, like, I'll just get on a soapbox, talking about stuff, and then my husband will see something. It's kind of like we see the far left getting triggered, but then we're getting triggered by how they're behaving. I just really hope that all the energies balance out, and that's what this is. It's not like I hope they get better. No, I hope that they really understand. A lot of them are freaking out or whatever it might be, but they at some point maybe a lot of them will come to their senses, or else just get new mental hospitals. Get those mental hospitals up and going and give them some treatment.
Yeah, because you've seen like people from the No Kings protest, right? It's just like, which they say 7 million people. So let's just say it was 7 million people, okay? I did the math. We got 342 U.S. citizens. They said 7 million people. It comes out to 2%.
Yeah.
But you look at those people. It's all the same. There's no like really college kids. No, I didn't get any puppies. Too much responsibility for me. But yet she's talking about. I was on. Jenny Lee had given me a reading, and she said doggies would be good for my soul, and it would be. But she didn't say one dog. She said multiple dogs, and that's a lot of responsibility for me at the moment. Yeah, I already got two puppies I got to deal with at the house already. So no animals.
We're both, my husband and I are really used to having a big dog around the house, and we got these two I call them, the two little smaller ones, the little yappers and stuff like that. I miss a big dog. And I said to my husband, German Shepherd, he says, nope, don't go there. Don't go there. We're too old for a big dog and a lot of hair and all this other stuff. And then I said, how about if I foster? He goes, you can't foster. They're going to get in our hearts and we won't be able to give them away.
Exactly. I mean, I go to my friend's house and she's got a big dog, and that's who I butt up with. I mean, and he's a big dog.
Yeah.
Let me. I gotta go find a picture. His name is Ziggy, but he's such a cute dog.
Oh, the name Ziggy comes from Quantum Leap. There was a show, I think, in the 90s called Quantum Leap, and Ziggy was
Yeah.
a computer guy that would tell you everything about where he leaped.
He's so big, he like knocks me over when I come in. But he doesn't. He like hips checks me. He doesn't really jump. But he's so big. Like he hip checks me, and he's almost like a friggin' horse. It's like, but he's such a cute dog.
Well, Buck, my husband doesn't know this yet. I'm looking. He doesn't know if we don't get this custom conversion van to travel around, different places. I'm going to get me a German Shepherd or something that likes to swim in the water, just have fun. We had our golden retriever, but she was at the end of her life, and I don't know if I want another golden retriever because I think they overbreed them a lot, and I think that's what we had problems with our golden, but. Yeah, boxers too. They're very prone to cancer, so you got to be careful about the food you give them. It's just one thing after another with the different breeds. You got to know their DNA. I would say look up a dog, understand their DNA, and then decide whether or not. Let's see.
I used to have a pit bull. He was so cute too. His name was Lexus.
Aw.
Yeah.
One beach, Nana says, yeah, get a lab, fantastic family dog. And
let's
see.
Wasn't she lab? No, she was golden retriever. Sorry, not lab.
Yeah, she said get a lab. Let's see here. And I think she said something else. She was the one that said, yeah, get the hospitals ready because we're going to need them. If you think about all the stuff that they're just pumping into people, I hate talking about this, but I saw Tucker Carlson. I think it was Tucker Carlson interviewing a guy who was a whistleblower that they knew ahead of time that this virus was coming. You guys can catch him. It was just a couple of days ago. But now they're actually talking about there's a synthetic chip that they can put in the body that talks to AI. And if it gets put into the wrong hands and what it can do to our body, when he said that, Tucker got really upset about it. He actually wanted to end the interview right then and there. I think the guy was talking too much.
Yeah. They're still limited on what they can talk about, whether we want to believe them or not. The good guys gotta, because they gotta, the way they're playing it out, right? You can't, they don't want disclosure too soon, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. This is all good stuff. So what else is going on with anybody out there? Anybody have some good news out there? I mean, like we talked about, we see silver is doubling. That's a positive sign. You guys, we just have to hold on to that hope. It's not hopium, it's hope. And know that everything that is happening, and so much of it is happening, is changing. It's almost like we are watching I don't want to say like a soap opera. That's how I feel sometimes. It'll be criminal soap opera, then a drama soap opera. Sometimes it's a rom-com. I don't know what episode that we're in, maybe episode 1000, but it's something new all the time. But there's always the good with the bad. That's what they're showing you. It has to balance out a little bit.
Yep. We don't know what the good without the bad.
What does Buckshot girls say? A super seed for me. No vaccines. They kill the dogs too soon. Yeah. And actually, if you ever do have to give your dog a rabies shot, I'm going to see if I can find it in my pictures here. But I had what was her name? Lydia Hibney, who is an animal communicator, who basically said there was something that you can give them to detox the body. and you give it to them for 3 days, depending on the size of the dog. And if I could find it, I will tell you. I keep it on hand because I have one dog here who has not been vaccinated yet. I'd have to go way far back, but anyways, take
Ivermectin?
it. No, here it is. Tula Occidental. Can you guys see this?
No, it's a
Hold
little
on.
blurry at the moment.
Yeah, it's my camera, but I'll spell it. It's a homeopathic remedy, and it's THUJA, and then OCCIDENTALIS. It's 30 C's. So if you have a smaller dog, you want to look this up on Amazon. Just keep it in the house. Anytime your dogs have to get a vaccine, it'll clean out the liver. It will definitely do that. So maybe I'll put it in at the end of the show on both channels here. I've told a lot of my friends about it. All right, let's see here. Lisa 559 says no rabies shots for dogs. It's got the MRI in it, and screw that shit. Speaking of shit,
Well, shooting the shit.
shooting the shit.
Just don't step in it.
Yeah, somebody else out there says, I say this all the time. It is a soap opera. It really is.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of drama out there.
And the characters out there are so obvious. I don't know about you guys, but Negative 48, he's been in and out on the news, and it's so obvious that it's him. Whatever his real name is. He's a Kennedy. He's a Kennedy.
Yeah, they're all mixed in there somewhere, like how they all just disappear. They come out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and it's like, oh, what happened to them? Off to the next role, right?
Yeah, let me see. If somebody is asking me to put it in here now out on Rumble, I'm going to do that. Okay. I'm going to put it in the chat out here. This is really good to have.
And it's good to know.
OCCIDEN. You could even, it's so inexpensive. Just buy it for somebody and send it to them. Did it not get out there? Oh, there it is. My initials are J Steffi, JSTEFFE. You can see it out there. It's in pink. That's the name of it. Homeopathic remedies, perfect for the body. I was introducing homeopathic remedies to my niece. When she came out here, she had heartburn. And she cannot take like anything like Pepto-Bismol. She throws up because of, her illnesses. So I actually opened up my homeopathic kit. And I said, tiny little white pills, like they look like pills, but they're not. I said, put 2 in your tongue and then watch it subside and just keep putting 2 at a time. And then about, 15 minutes later, she said, she goes, Aunt Janine, it's gone. She goes, I've never had it 100% gone. And and then of course I go into, you got to eat better. You got to balance out and of course it just went.
Well, yeah, there's still, Amanda's slowly waking up, but yeah, it's all about diet, right? And eating the right things and not eating junk. And the problem is everything that's cheap that most people can afford is junk.
Well, yeah, but look at all those women that are out there crying about their EBT cards. Is that what they're called, EBT?
Yeah, food stamps, EBT, yeah.
Yeah, they all want that, they want their Snicker bars and their Cheetos and all this other shit, the worst stuff for you. Maybe that's what's making them all, Karens. I have no idea.
There was a study where they did a prison thing where they actually fed prisoners healthy food and compared to unhealthy food, and the people that ate the healthy food were more not docile but more happier, more energetic, they weren't as miserable as the people that were fed. But so it does have what we eat does. There's videos that you could find on YouTube where they check the frequency of vegetables, where they put a meter to the veg, and you can see the meat. So the food we eat does have an effect on our body, and that's what all processed food is. All EBT is all junk, and it's just like this is why a lot of people are,
Yeah. So Buck, We Not Me is sending a lot of people over to watch us out on Rumble. Thank you. It says it's rating your chat, Janine and Buckshot. Good to see everybody from We Not Me. Were they on tonight? I don't even know.
Yeah, Jason starts at 12. So he was going for when I came over here. I was watching, I was listening to most of the day. And but yeah, he was going up until 6 when I got off to come here, and so yeah, they must have just he must he had a whole work day today.
Thank you, Jason. Love you and Dina always, and also Alley Cat too. I haven't seen her in here. I saw her in the beginning, but I'm not sure where she's at, if she's still with us or not.
She's probably listening. I know she's usually on the YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So this is really fun. I mean, I don't know about anybody else. There's good things that are coming our way. We just have to, live life while it's happening. Get off the damn phones and the TVs and all that other stuff. Just keep living your life, and all of a sudden you'll realize, holy shit, the stocks are up, the silver is up, gold is up, food is down. But we've got to make those memories.
That's what it's all about. Making those memories. Not like Louis Herms used to say. I'd rather make an impression in life than on my couch. So.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. What's your legacy? Well, last few years of my life, I sat on my couch watching the world, the soap opera bullshit.
Or football, or rig sports.
In the beginning, I get it, because you had people like Jason Q that were coming out and they were decoding it and telling us what was going on, and a lot of it did kind of happen, but a lot of it went a different way. But I'm kind of through all of that. It's just good to know that now I'm actually seeing this stuff out there, and if people aren't seeing it out there, it's good to know that we're not going to let them get away with anything. And if it's going to upset somebody's life, that's okay. I don't care. It'll work out for us in the long run.
Yeah, we're eventually going to know the whole truth and nothing but the truth. But let's I'd rather spend my time and energy on working on the future, right? That's why our windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror in the car. So I'm worried about what's in front of me instead of now. Recently we do have to pay attention to what's behind us. Even parked on a highway, you're not safe. Yeah. So, but on the side note, we still got to look for the future, because that's where we're going, and that's where we need to be. Yeah, but not too far ahead, right? Not too far ahead.
So BT Nana basically is saying that the junk food does really affect the brain, the body, and the behavior, the 3 BBBs. She says, I know, I tested it on myself and the family, and I did too. We got rid of all of it, and we make everything that we eat, we make ourselves. Our breads, you name it, our own pizzas, we're doing it, everything our own selves. When we had company, we did go out to a restaurant, but I know if they're good restaurants, they're using good ingredients, because it was a good bill.
Well, right, that's where us Italians come in, Janine, right? When you make it with love, right?
Yeah,
the food is so much better when the person takes pride in cooking. Yeah, it always comes out better.
Be in a good mood when you're cooking, and have music on. You have a little vino there to throw in whatever it is that you're cooking with. And I actually did buy a cookbook down here when I went to Lulu's. Lulu's is a place where they got like a beach. It's right off of the international waters there. And Lulu's is Jimmy Buffett's sister. She opened up her own place down there. So they're all about the gumbo. But everything that she serves in a restaurant, she has in a cookbook. And I had this kind of like a roast beef, like a French dip sandwich. out of this world. And so I went and bought their cookbook. I want to try to make it at home. And we just got through cooking the beef and everything like that. So, cooking is a good thing that brings the family together, Buck.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's what a lot is missing. After my grandparents split away, mostly everybody, we didn't get together as much. Um, and it's sad. But then, of course, and then in this day and age, a lot of people had to move to go to a different job. My parents moved to Florida because my dad was tired of being up north and in New York. He was just sick of it. And they, like everything else, he wanted to get away and went to Florida. So that kind of like broke up the family in a way. So we didn't get together as much. But that's why but I don't blame them because Florida is a lot better than New York, let's just say.
Oh my God, I don't even know what's going on. Who's running for the mayor there? Is this part of the movie, this guy? Come on, Buck, enlighten me.
I would think so, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins just because those people need a friggin' wake-up call.
Yeah.
A real wake-up call. I mean, because obviously 9/11 only brought us together for only a few years, and after that, how long did that last?
Yeah,
not long.
exactly.
It would seem like once Giuliani and Bloomberg got out, that was it. Everything started going. Once the Democrats got involved, that's when it started turning downhill again.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. We got here again saying apple tarts. Yeah, and then one beach nanny also says too is a lot of people do still cook from a box or a bag and stuff like that. You can't do that. It's actually more cost effective to get more. And sometimes you're like, well, if I do it that way, if I get everything fresh ingredients, you just will get into a habit. Okay, I gotta use up this onion or this green pepper or whatever, and then you're gonna make something else. And then you're actually looking for recipes. You can find them on YouTube all day long, something different. I just refuse to eat fast food. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, there's a place around here. For instance, I used a coupon today to get a Cuban sandwich. Right, I haven't had a Cuban sandwich, but the place I used to go, it's called Tropical Grill. Right, and they used to get chicken breast and grill it on a grill. Right, on like a charcoal grill. I went there today to get the sandwiches because I haven't been there in a while, and I noticed I'm like the person in front of me ordered the chicken bowl. Right, they call it a chicken bowl. Right, it's Cuban style food. And I'm looking at the chicken. I'm like, that's not grilled chicken. No, you can tell the difference between an open grill, right, and then a flat top grill.
Yeah.
The chicken was all brown. It didn't look like white meat breast. Like I said, they used to put breast, and you could tell the difference between the difference. This was all like brown, and it was like, is that even chicken?
Like Chinese food. The chicken in Chinese food always looks brown. It's like
exactly, Ginny. That's what it looked like. It looked like Chinese food, Chinese chicken with beans and rice. And I'm like, that's not. This place used to grill their chicken with the charcoal burnt marks on it. No, they grill everything now on the flat top grill where all the brown from the cooking gets incorporated in the chicken, and it looks like shit on freaking rice.
Here we go. The shit.
It looks like shit. Shooting the shit on rice.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to say congratulations to Baja Girl. I guess she says, I'm in Florida now. I'm staying with my daughter who had a baby boy on
Congratulations.
Wait, I got to get out my little thing.
A new angel in the house.
There we go. Congratulations. He's a perfect angel. You better believe. 9/15, huh? That's interesting date.
Isn't that a 23?
Yeah. Is that a Virgo? I don't know. Libra, Virgo, I don't know. All right. Well, congratulations. Anybody else have a birthday or other babies being born?
I know I had my childhood friend Frank. His birthday was today.
Happy birthday, Frank.
We had Roger from our chat on Saturday's Zooms, and me. His birthday is today. So I know at least the two people that we had birthdays, so happy
Lots
birthday
of
to them.
congratulations out on Rumble right now for you, Buckshot girl. It is a wonderful thing. A baby. Oh, just the smell of them. Smell the youth.
Right? And the innocence.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's why
definitely.
the quick trial wood chipper for anyone who has harmed a young one.
Oh, there's more baby.
No
There's more
mercy.
birthdays. Happy birthday, Frank. Somebody's saying out there. Yeah, it's all wonderful. Wonderful news. We need to start telling the kids keep creating now there. Have those babies. Somebody's birthday was on the 8th, someone was on
Oh,
the
happy
10th.
belated birthday, Whiskey. My brother's birthday was October 6th. And my
Oh yeah.
stepson's birthday was the 21st. So his birthday was Monday. He turned 25. But he's in Oregon.
USA says my mama's happy heavenly birthday to I think is that USA.
VW.
Heavenly birthdays too. We never forget them. We never forget them. It's so funny because I'll be walking through the house and I'll say, Paul, today's my mom's birthday. You know, she's been gone for 10 years, right? And he'll say the same thing today. Today's my dad's birthday. You know, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Yeah, they hear you.
Yeah, they do. And the veil is so thin.
Mm-hmm. Getting thinner by the day.
Yeah, definitely. So besides that, I think that is just about everything that I wanted to talk about. It's good to see you again, Buck, and I love it
Good
when
to
you
see
come
you
on
too.
here with, even if it's just once a month. I'm happy with that.
That's you know me. I'm down for anything. I'm just shoot at the hip kind of person. That's why I'm buckshot.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, you know, I I have fun with you all the time, Janine. So I'm always
yeah.
available.
Buck, I was trying to think how many years we've been doing this, and you wouldn't think that I would say years, but you've been on here. I think I was gonna give up on this thing, and then all of a sudden you came on, and it was. I've had fun. Then we had Alley Cat, and then we had Arnie and stuff like that. It's just I just don't interview anybody anymore. We just kind of shoot the shit.
Yeah, I remember, you know, because I used to follow you with JQ and Gene Decode, and then you know back to where we just it kind of like we rather just shoot the shit, right? Too information over. There's a lot of information overload is getting us distracted to where we need to go, like put our energy towards, and you know, and that's what I love. And Jason's mom, happy heavenly birthday tomorrow. And if actually for me, it's going to be like less than 4 hours. Woohoo.
For
So
what?
I'm going to be celebrating an hour earlier than Dina and Jason.
Wait. Why are you celebrating tomorrow? I missed something.
I'm an hour before them, so I'm an
Oh,
hour ahead of time. So I get to celebrate before they do.
yeah. Happy birthday to Jason's mom. Yeah, and I'm sure that she's really proud of all the work that both of them have done. And just bringing awareness. That's half the battle is not. I don't even consider it waking up. It's just bringing awareness to people, and then the waking up is on their part, right? It's up to that soul to kind of get it. And that's
Yeah.
what
So
I'm at the point right now. I just want to live life the best that I can and reap all the benefits and just be very kind to a lot of different people, no matter what they do to you. And there's going to be a lot of people that won't like you just because you are a beacon of light out there. And that's the hardest thing to deal with because I just went through that with a family member myself.
yeah, I mean it's hard. You know, it's hard, especially the forgiveness is more for ourselves, right? Than more for because there was a story that a lady told me on Saturday where she had one of those Chinese Siamese cats. Well, let's just say it snuck out when she was walking when she tried to get the dog in the house, and somebody kidnapped it, and then pretty much extorted her out of $5,000, right? Saying that the cat was injured, and the scam was the Humane Society phone number rang her phone and said it was a veterinarian. They found the cat was injured. They need to do emergency surgery or the cat's going to die, pretty much. They did that whole scheme. So she sent like $3,000 for the surgery. Then then another $2,000. And each time it came back, her phone would ring up Humane Society, right? So eventually she realizes she got scammed. And then like a day or so later, a Mexican lady comes barely speaking any English and says, "Your cat not get along with my cat. Here."
Oh, I'm not laughing at that, but she brought the cat back. But yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out there. It all comes down to this is a spiritual war, Buck. And we're talking about, yeah, there's a lot of mental people out there that couldn't deal with being in the light, being spiritual, being in God, with God, being with Jesus, whatever you want to call your creator, whatever it is. And that's the problem here. And I think at some point we're all going to be where we need to be. And that's all that I'll say about that one. I can't judge anybody about that, but I firmly do believe that it's a great time to be alive because we can witness what is actually happening in the spiritual war.
Yeah, because it all starts with us, right? We got to be the change that we want to see in the world. And whether we like the people or not, we still have to somewhat, make peace with it. If when we unfortunately have been wronged, because like I said, it's more for us than more for the other person. Because we could hold on to a lot of resentment, but in the end, it's only going to hurt us in the end, right? That negative energy gets stored into our body. And of course, me, I don't want to see anybody fighting either. And can't we all, the whole Rodney, can't we all just get along? That type of the mentality. I don't want to see anybody fighting already, but it's hard though. It is hard, especially when somebody has done you wrong.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's just see here. Just whoops, that's not on there yet. Let me go back to here. Just to let everybody know, my channel has changed quite a bit. And I do these shows not often as I used to anymore, maybe once or twice a month. But more importantly, I have found that there's a lot of people that are hurting out there, and everybody would like to be able just to do a little prayer. You can go to True Lens and actually see today's prayer, whatever it might be. There's something out there for everybody. And Buck, all I can tell you is I was so surprised by the amount of people that have responded to this. And this is non-religion, by the way, but a lot of people can make it whatever they want to make it. But just hearing the words that are so powerful to each individual, whatever it is that they hear, if that's how I can contribute to humanity through social media, I'm happy with that.
Yep, and it's not, it's straight to the point. Right? We all know that prayer is powerful. We've seen it on videos of right the people with praying and prayer is very powerful. Right? There's a lot of evidence to prove it. So it's always good to start off a morning on a positive note with a prayer or even a meditation or an affirmation. And there's a lot of things I don't like to do. Like I mentioned before, I go to the gym and I don't like it because I hate pushing myself. I hate being sweaty. I hate being out of breath. I hate being, the whole blah 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 that you. But I think it's more effective because I'm not 20 years old anymore, and I don't have the stamina like I used to do without trying to hurt myself. But it's still good to challenge yourself. I've been doing this stupid HIIT. I don't call them stupid. I do call them stupid. The HIIT classes, right, where it's like short interval training, and I'm so out of shape, it's crazy. But I still push myself, right? So never stop pushing yourself, no matter how hard it gets and how much you don't want to do it. That's my advice.
Yeah. We not me is making a statement on the power of the collective, no matter what it is. That if everybody in it, like you said, it's been proven. Somebody is hurting, we all hurt. Somebody needs love, we give the love. Somebody needs just an affirmation, like you said. And I know that you understand this, Buck, because you do it within your little groups and stuff like that. And I just think that people are starting to realize that we are all one. There's nobody that bleeds any different color out there. Where this is humanity right now is really learning a huge lesson on so many levels, so many dynamics. And once you actually get that, you will start to feel the true essences of who you truly are.
That's right.
So we never stop, we never give up, and sometimes just reach out to anybody. Send me a text, send me an email if you happen to see one of my postings out there, and you just say, "Hey, I need a little help to get through this. I'm hurting." Please, just do. Because there's always something that somebody can say to lift your spirits up, and sometimes it's just talking, and it doesn't have to be about a problem.
Yep. There's a terminology that my friend Tom likes to use. In the room, throw your shit in the middle and let us all dissect it.
Yeah.
That's what it's about it, having a good community, is being able to talk about your issues without being judged. Because we're all not perfect and we all struggle. And that's what, like, the whole story with the cat and the cat lady that she still didn't drink over it, but it's still it is hard to, like, to but yeah, it's drinking is not the end. It's the easy way out, but
Well,
for me,
let me
at
tell you
least it was
something.
for me.
There was something that just recently happened, whether you believe about the moon and the stars and all that other thing, but there's something that actually happened, and it was almost like within the last 3 or 4 days. I think everybody was awakened by most of the people were, by some sort of a lesson, whether it was through being duped or whatever it may have been, or just for you to realize you had to open up your heart. It could be good or bad. But there was a huge shift that just recently happened. I know that we usually talk about the Schumann resonance here. I haven't seen anything more recently that happened, but I think the energies are settling. But we have to really be conscious of everything that we do and say. And so I think that is where we're headed today. As tough as it may seem, as tough as it may seem.
Yep.
Joan of Arc, thank you, Joan of Arc out there. She said, and I love you too.
Aw. But yeah, it's like she does the yoga in the morning, and I go to the gym in the morning, even though, like I said, I'm not fond of it. But once I'm done with it, that gets my day started. And
Yeah.
eventually, in a couple of months, I'll eventually like the outcome. I'm working on it. I still have trouble with the carbs, right? Being Italian, I still have trouble with the pizza and the bread.
Well, we made stuffed shells, so I went to my comfort food is pasta. It is. And so we made our stuffed shells, and I hate to say this, but my he claims to be 100% German. He makes really good Italian food, and it just blows my mind. I was in there helping him with it too, but there's just something about going to the carbs, but then after that it's like, okay, I need to go for a walk. It's too much, because you'll feel very heavy, very, very
Yep.
heavy.
Yep.
So
And that's one of the reasons why I go to the gym, so I can eat it.
yeah. Let's see here. Who we got out there? It looks like Alley Cat is back in the house. Blessings to Alley Cat there too. I hope you're doing really good, Alley Cat. I would love to have a round table real soon. Just it's a matter of time, right? It's a matter of something. But as long as that we are really bringing a lot of light to the people out there. And if anybody out there that needs help with anything, just let us know, because you're not alone. That's all that I'm saying. Nobody is alone.
Yep. That is truth. You can always reach out and touch someone.
Yeah, it's all
Right?
about.
I mean, the phone, it's not like it used to be, where it's real easy. It doesn't have to be a 100-pound dumbbell or a brick.
Yeah, we've got somebody out here saying on the 29th, Atlas is going to give us all downloads and upgrades. And I don't even know if a lot of people are aware of that when that stuff is happening. But
Not a
you
comment,
know,
that thing. That thing that they say is, yeah. That non-comment, that thing's not a comment. I'm sorry. I'm with you, Baja girl. Right? Because it's just, I mean, Jason did show a video earlier that did show some. Yeah, it's not a comment, but and the people that I follow, my intuition's telling me, the same thing that, we did see. It just was it a coincidence that, when the three-eye atlas, third eye atlas, um,
yeah,
was behind the sun. All of a sudden, we had major sunburst headed that way. We got some of the solar particles, but we didn't get the solar blast. But that ship sure as hell did.
yeah. This is all good. Well, Buck, I don't have anything else unless you do. You want to share anything with anybody?
No,
I
I don't. I got nothing else left in the tank other than I'm not looking forward to making carrot cake, but I'm going to be making carrot cake
There you go.
the rest of the
Yeah,
night.
let us know how it turns out.
Oh,
Yeah, and everybody.
it's going to turn out lovely because you know me, I'm going to make it with a lot of love.
There you go. And that's what it is. Everything has an intention. And so no matter what you do, put your intention behind it. Even if you are dragging ass and you don't feel good or anything like that, you've got, this is a tough time to be alive and it's a great time to be alive. But we are all here for a particular reason. And everybody has what it takes to get through a day. All right. Thank you all. Love each and every one of you. Buckshot, I love you too. And
Love you too, Janine. Thanks you all for showing up.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and thank you, We Not Me, for sending everyone over. Totally appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.